and welcome to Xbox On. It's the Xbox Super Game Sale and we've got deals coming out of our eyeballs right now. Things are really starting to hot up. Here's our top picks for this week, but remember there are so many more deals out there, so make sure to comment below at the end of the video with your favorite deals.
That's him. Marcus Holloway. Time him.
Too late, he's in.
Ahead of the release of Watch Dogs Legion next year, you might want to revisit the second game in the franchise this week. The first title on offer with a scorching 80% off is Watch Dogs 2. Playing as hacker extraordinaire Marcus Holloway, you'll explore the San Francisco Bay Area and use pretty much everything that has a Wi-Fi signal to your advantage, whether that's vehicles, traffic lights, bank ATMs, or other people's phones, and even print your own weapons using a 3D printer. Join a notorious group of revolutionaries called DedSec as they try to take down an advanced operating system with hidden dangers, which, in the hands of corrupt corporations, could be used to spy, monitor, and manipulate everyday citizens on a massive scale. I always knew my phone was listening to me. Begone, evil device! So before you head out into London and join the Legion next year on the upcoming sequel, make the most of Watch Dogs 2 with 80% off this week.
Eco 15. It was never deployed and remains in orbit around the Earth.
Next up, we've got all-out action and pure craziness. And no, it's not another Apex stream with Benny and Sam. Rage 2 is on offer this week with a fantastic 35% off. This is a game that combines ludicrous vehicle combat, superpowered first-person mayhem, and an open world full of emergent madness. You'll tear across an unforgiving wasteland battling sadistic gangs to find the tools and tech needed to crush the oppressive rule of an evil group called the Authority, who just robbed you of your home and left you for dead. Now you'll just have to rage for justice and freedom. Oh, and don't forget that you'll have your abilities to play with, like Shatter, a strong kinetic blast that can throw enemies away from you. And if it's strong enough, this blast can even explode enemies in close range combat. Tasty. Make sure to grab this deal if you need a little more madness in your life. And I mean, let's be honest, who doesn't?
I'm Chronica, keeper of time.
It's hard to show off a game on deals of the week when the aim of the game is to obliterate the opposition in the most gruesome and creative ways possible. And yet, here we are. But if we're being honest, 25% off Mortal Kombat 11 is an offer we just had to show you, so be prepared for some tasty finishing moves. Representing the fighting titles this week is the latest entry in the OG beat-em-up franchise. Featuring a roster of new and returning classic fighters, and yet that's spelled with a K because, you know, Mortal Kombat, you'll have the chance to play through an in-depth story mode, classic versus modes, and more. And let's be honest, the hero of this game, it isn't you, and it certainly isn't any of the opponents. It's the cinematic finishes which we can't help but watch despite our stomachs telling us not to. The best part is sitting back and watching as your character delivers the killer blow, much like the time that Benny and Sam played it over on our Mixer channel. Benny's still convinced he'd have gotten the win if he'd got the right characters.
If I was Scorpion, there's 22 heroes in the game! You got the same heroes every time!
Next up with a very nice 60% off is a game I've recently picked up and really enjoyed. It's Rainbow Six Siege Deluxe Edition. For tactical, team-based FPS gameplay, look no further than Siege, a game that will never cease to surprise you in new ways. In mostly 5v5 game modes, you'll pick an operator, or with unique tactical skills and abilities, and alternately defend and attack strongholds against the enemy team who are sometimes trying to defuse bombs and sometimes trying to save hostages, among other things. With drones, rappelling, plenty of gadgets, and loads of opportunities to break through walls and create new sightlines and pathways in a destructible and fortifiable environment, it's a game that really struggles to be predictable. The Deluxe Edition gets you all 8 Year 1 operators, and the rest can be earned as you go by playing the game. Definitely one to play if you have an ear for footsteps and an eye for those crispy headshots.
Don't blow a fuse. Get it?
Give yourself the best start in the huge 3-player team-based Battle Royale Apex Legends by checking out the deals on the Founders Pack this week. In Apex, it's all about survival and stylishly dunking on the other squads to prove your skill as you run around a massive map, looting and killing along the way. Season 2 of Apex recently dropped, bringing with it a new ranked mode, weapon and character, and some new map elements on the existing terrain. The Leviathans are sick of hanging around at the sea and are now patrolling the land. Don't get squished. The Founders Pack comes with 2,000 Apex coins to spend on whatever your heart desires, an exclusive Hemlock weapon skin, 3 exclusive character skins, banner, frames, and a special Founders badge, and it comes with 33% off this week.
Y'all are ghosts. Top-tier operators to quiet professionals.
The Xbox Super Game Sale is the gift that just keeps on giving, and there's another Tom Clancy entry in this week's deals with Ghost Recon Wildlands, a standard edition, having 70% off. In the near future, Bolivia has fallen into the hands of Santa Blanca, a merciless drug cartel who do nothing but spread injustice and violence. Their objective? To create the biggest narco state in history. Aim high, guys. Aim high. Create and customize your Ghost weapons and gear as you enjoy total freedom of playstyle in the luscious HDR environments, and lead the team to take down the cartel either solo or with up to 3 friends, giving you the ultimate choice in how you want to approach situations. Discover the stunning and diverse landscapes of the Wildlands both on and off-road, in the air, on land, and at sea with over 60 different vehicles, and familiarize yourself with this super popular franchise before the release of Ghost Recon Breakpoint in October. Good luck out there, Ghost.
It was an honor to fight with you. Truly.
If you'd like a fun, action-packed and thoughtful RPG to sink into, it's a great time to check out Nier Automata. Following humanity's previous mass exodus from the Earth, you, a Yorha android known as 2B, are sent back on a reconnaissance mission to help reclaim it from the machine invaders that cover the surface. Partnered with fellow android 9S and his curious personality, you attack with some very badass-looking melee weapons and a little floating pod friend for the more ranged attacks, and personalize your loader as you go. It's a game that takes inspiration from many game genres and incorporates them in neat ways, like switching perspectives from third-person to top-down to more isometric styles, all within one smooth sequence. It also has a lot of hidden depth. Your first experience with the game story is known as Route A, and this will occupy you for quite some time while you learn about the world and your role within it. But ultimately, without ruining anything, the end is not the end, and it's absolutely worth starting again once you think you're finished. It's surprisingly heart-rending, fun, and weird, and it's also 33% off this week.
Now, I've seen everything. What the?
Scary game of the week goes to Capcom's first-person spookfest, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, which has a terrifying 25% knocked off as part of the Xbox Super Game Sale this week. Making a change from the usual over-the-shoulder perspective that we're used to in the series, Biohazard dramatically increases how absorbed into the world you'll become, and therefore how scary everything is, which is just what I've always wanted. Built on the RE engine, which was specifically designed for the game, you'll get to explore an ultra-realistic and super creepy mansion in search of your missing wife. And if playing this on your Xbox One isn't enough, the game supports Xbox Play Anywhere, which means you can hop on to your Windows 10 PC to continue the horror. The choice is yours on what platform you'd rather be scared on. You lucky things.
Came out of nowhere. Tore a hole clear through the reinforced hull.
There's nothing quite like the great expanses of the open sea, swimming off a ledge with all that pitch black depth down beneath you. If you're not brave enough to try that out in real life, I know I'm not, then trying out in a video game is the next best thing. Subnautica drops you down in a survival pod on an alien planet after your mothership was destroyed, and now, not only do you need to survive in this unknown territory, you also maybe want to find your way out of there eventually too. The local fish are weird, resource availability is dubious, and something keeps roaring at you from the depths, but you must collect, craft, and build to survive and uncover the secrets of your current accommodations. Or, I mean, you could just stick around the shallows and build yourself a base and call it a day. It's entirely up to you if you follow the story prompts or just ignore them completely and make your own adventure app. It's 35% off this week, and for a game this atmospheric and, depending on how you play it, intense, that's a pretty great deal. It's always great when your granddad leaves you his historical farm in an adorable town right as you're on the edge of corporate burnout. What do you mean you haven't experienced that? It might be time for you to check out Stardew Valley! There's nothing quite like the challenge of staving off exhaustion to clean up your vast lands, meet the locals, and help make Stardew Valley the best it can be, one parsnip at a time. Somehow Stardew has this amazing ability to consume all of your free time until you wake up in a daze 4 days later, covered in post-it notes about what fish you need to catch in each season, and thinking that sound of tweeting birds is coming out of your window. Spoiler alert, it's not. Go get some fresh air. With a gentle start, it ends up being an adorable game that keeps you on your toes, with so much to explore and collect, and when you've played it once, you can come back months later and experience all the fun over again while making some fresh new decisions. Stardew Valley is an awesome pixel RPG, impressively made by just one person, and is 30% off this week.
This never gets any easier, but it's how the game works. C'est la vie.
So that's the deals we've got for you this week. Thank you very much for watching. Let us know what you're playing in the comments below. Don't forget to give us a sub if you're new to the channel, and check us out over on mixer.com/xboxon for more shenanigans. We'll see you next time. Bye!